Hello, my name is Alexander Orlov. This is my presentation on individual news article sharing, where I choose two articles from business sites to discuss and analyze. Let's get started. I'm going to start with the agenda and why these articles matter. Both articles are from the Economist Impact site. Article 1 is titled AI for Supply Chain Geopolitical Resilience. Article 2 is AI powered resilience and growth in APAC. Both articles link straight to the things we study in class, business strategy class. Dynamic capabilities, competitive advantage, global strategy, and how resilience can become a real VRIO resource that is valuable, rare, hard to imitate, and well organized. The big goal of this presentation is to show you real world strategy in action in a polycrisis world. Basically, that means a world with lots of overlapping problems like wars, tariffs, tech changes, and supply chain shocks. These articles are perfect because they are only a few months old and they prove that strategy is not just a theory anymore. It is about using AI to stay ahead. I will keep everything simple and explain every point clearly. Starting off with article number 1, the title is Supply Chains Big Bet on AI for Geopolitical Resilience, published in November 9th, 2025. The core idea of the article is very straightforward. Today's business environment is defined by two words: complexity and uncertainty. Global supply chains that companies rely on are now threatened every day by wars, new tariffs, and sudden policy changes from governments. The big strategic tool that executives are turning to is artificial intelligence. AI is not just for small efficiency gains, it is being used to anticipate disruptions before they happen, and then reconfigure entire supply chains to make them more agile and stronger. This article gives historical examples to make this easy to understand. It compares today to World War II, when semiconductor technology jumped forward because of the war, and to the COVID period when cloud computing exploded because offices suddenly closed. In both cases, big crises pushed technology forward fast. And the same thing is happening now with AI and supply chains. This sets up the whole article nicely. Now, here we will look at the main arguments from Article 1, step by step. First, executives around the world are betting on AI to reshape their supply chains proactively instead of just reacting when something bad happens. Secondly, this means moving away from old style reactive management to a new AI driven approach that builds real resilience. Third, the article is honest about the challenges. There are technical hurdles and implementation risks that companies have to manage carefully. And finally, here is a powerful quote directly from the article that sums everything up. Global firms rely on multi tiered global supply chains, but faced with wars, tariffs, and sudden policy changes, these appear increasingly unstable. Well, this quote really drives things home. It's really evident that AI and then the world governments and everything that's going on is being changed right now before our very eyes. Okay, this business strategy are connections to our class. Number one, AI acts as a dynamic capability according to TSIS framework. That means companies use AI to sense threats in the environment, seize new opportunities quickly, and then transform their operations to stay competitive. Number two, resilience itself is becoming a core competitive advantage under the resource based view. It is valuable, rare, hard for competitors to copy, and properly organized inside the company. Number three, geopolitics is no longer something only governments worry about. It is now central to everyday supply chain strategy. And number four, the article gives practical steps, including real executive surveys and actual case studies that companies can learn from right away. These connections show how the article is not just news, it is living proof of the theories we study in our class. Now we're going to move on to article number two. The full title is Rewired for Resilience: How Businesses in APAC Are Navigating the Next Chapter in AI Powered Growth. This article was published on November 27th, 2025. This article focuses on businesses across Asia Pacific region, aka APAC for short. These companies are scaling up AI while dealing with lots of volatility. The main focus is on building both resilience and growth at the same time through deep AI integration. Instead of just experimenting with AI, companies in APAC are shifting to make it an embedded strategic capability inside their whole organization. This article is a great follow up to Article 1 because it shows how different regions are approaching the same AI and resilience challenges in their own smart ways. Here are some of the main arguments from the article. Firstly, AI is literally rewiring operations, talent strategies, and entire business ecosystems to create stronger resilience. The key drivers pushing this change are geopolitical uncertainty, plus the fast acceleration of the technology itself. APAC leaders are actively building AI systems that give them agility, help mitigate risks, and create a real competitive edge. The article also shares real world examples from specific sectors: manufacturing, finance, and logistics. So you can picture exactly how this looks in practice. Everything is explained in simple terms, so it is kind of easy to follow. Okay, we have some more main arguments plus strategic things illustrated by this article. Firstly, resilience is treated as a full strategic architecture that includes strong data control, good governance, and smart ecosystem partnerships. The outcome is that AI actually turns uncertainty into a sustained growth advantage for these companies. Here's a quote that captures the whole idea. Businesses in APAC are rewiring themselves for resilience, treating AI not as a tool, but as a core of their next growth chapter. The broader lesson is that regional strategies, like the ones happening in APAC, give important ideas for global competitive positioning. Companies anywhere can learn from this approach. Here are some connections to business strategy concepts that we learn in class. Article 1 connects to supply chain reconfiguration plus AI as a dynamic capability. Article 2 shows AI scaling in the APAC region as a VRIO advantage and also part of regional global strategy. The common theme running through both these articles is that good strategy means the proactive integration of technology plus strong risk foresight. We also go beyond the classic Porter's five forces by adding systemic shocks and the need for institutional resilience. These connections basically make it very clear why these two articles are perfect examples for business strategy in our course. Here are some Here's the conclusion, some key takeaways from the articles. Essentially, both articles together show that strategy today demands AI powered agility plus multi domain resilience. Managers must start treating resilience as a core capability, not just an extra cost. And here are three actionable pieces of advice you can actually use. Firstly, invest in AI for your supply chains so you can predict and handle disruptions. Two, embedded AI into your APEC or global growth plans. Third, build strong data and ecosystem resilience frameworks inside your company. These steps can make a difference in today's uncertain world. And that wraps it up right there. I would like to thank you for watching, spending your time on this. And I posted both articles here on the screen, and I'll also post it in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.